I'm back, and I'm here finally for another review on one of my favorite games of literally all time, Dead Space 2. I will be looking at the game's gameplay, presentation, and overall impact, so stick around to find out. I am Saber Planet Gaming, and this is Dead Space 2. Don't go away.
Diagnostic load initiated from waste compression chamber simplifying 2. Compressor piston offline.
So, Dead Space 2 is contentiously my favorite of the series. I wasn't really a fan of 3, and I'm not saying that 1 wasn't good, because Dead Space 1 was amazing. It's just Dead Space 2 was literally out of this world. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why. Now, okay, so under the umbrella of gameplay comes the story, and with the story comes the characters in them. And in Dead Space 2, they're no short of amazing.
Isaac, what did he mean? What did he mean when he said dead weight?
There is no going around it in Dead Space 2. The story at times can be confusing, but that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, even Isaac, the main character, has literally no idea how to destroy the marker in the end. So the big three in Dead Space 2 that you need to know is Isaac, the main character, Ellie, and Strauss. Now, you play as Isaac Clarke, who is a great main character, and even though you never really come into contact physically or, in a proximity of the other two characters, Strauss and Ellie, they bounce off each other really well in this game. Now, before I point out somewhat of a small flaw in the main characters of the story and whatnot, I want to say it's been 3 years since I played Dead Space 2, and going back to play it recently, I didn't realize how much I loved Ellie as a character in this game, which is weird because the first time playing, I remember a lot more of Strauss and a lot less of Ellie, but playing through again, I was happily surprised at how good of a character she was.
I'm Isaac.
Ellie. What do you want, Isaac?
I'm trying to get to the transport hub. I need to get to the government sector.
What do you think we were trying to do?
The one flaw I only found in the main three characters was Strauss, as good as of a character he was, he dies off really fast. Like, he was a pretty big part of the story, and then he just dies like that. Boom, no more Strauss. And I found it to be really quick.
Oh God. Ellie, step free.
You owe me an eye, you bastard!
Now, one thing I do want to point out is how addicting the combat really was. There are a huge amount of weapons and a huge variety of enemies ranging from different types of necromorphs to stalkers, and the weapons range from the regular plasma cutter to things like a flamethrower. There are a ton of ways combat can work in this game, and it's very, very addicting. Not to mention it sounds really nice, but we'll get more on that later. Sliding in at a solid 86 out of 100 pros. Great story, main three characters are awesome, combat is memorable, large variety of everything in this game. Cons, Strauss is pretty much written off pretty fast. I found that a little bit annoying, but this is only one category. We still have presentation and overall impact to go, so let's jump right into the game's presentation.
We're so close to understanding it. Just hold those bodies you let in here. It's triggering a convergence event. But we never expected this many bodies.
What the hell is it doing?
What it was made to do. Isaac, you have to make us whole.
Just by listening to that clip that you probably just watched, you probably already have an idea of how good the presentation in Dead Space 2 really is. The sounds and visuals of this game is just something else. A great example is how the health bar is displayed in this game. It's on your back. And the color and the level of the, I don't know, what is that liquid in there? I don't know, but it displays how much HP you have, health points, and it's honestly one of my favorite things in this game. Generally, the health bar is displayed in a pretty general default way, but Dead Space said, you know what, let's just do it on your back. Where this game shines bright in the presentation sound department isn't through soundtracks in general, it's almost purely based on sound effects. I mean, there aren't that many soundtracks that pop out to me, but it almost doesn't matter. To put it into perspective, I believe that Dead Space as a series has some of the most iconic, memorable sound effects in gaming. The sound of the doors opening, the upgrade bench, the plasma cutter sounds, the sound effect when picking up an item, I mean, it all sounds so good to hear. A great example is when you buy a new suit and you put it on, you feel like Iron Man. Like, it's just so awesome. One other quick thing I would like to point out under the umbrella of presentation is the voice acting, which was surprisingly very well done for a game 2011. I know it's not that long ago, but when I first played it, I don't remember the voice acting being that good. It's not like super crazy or anything, but it's better than I remember, which is a good sign. Here we are, presentation 95 out of 100, pretty damn high if you ask me. Pros, sound effects are great, they are amazing. The credit song is a banger. I mean, out of all the soundtracks in this game, that is obviously the greatest. Cutscenes are awesome in this game. Cons, not many great soundtracks in this game. Wish there was a few more, but as a horror game, it's hard to come across soundtracks that are super great when most of them are, meant to scare you. But that's just the way horror games go. In the end, we still have a whole category left. Overall impact, let's go.
Step 1. Crawl inside. Step 2. This screws so tight. All around. Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in your eye.
Dead Space 2. It's somewhere between my probably 14th to 9th favorite game of all time. It switches around a little bit, but you get the idea of how much I like this game. I played it first in 2016, 3 years ago, and I recently played it about a week ago, obviously. And the whole time I was playing, I couldn't stop thinking or saying to myself, wow, this game is good. Like, this game is good. Simple as that. One of the biggest reasons why I think this game is as iconic and memorable as it is just how rounded out and, balanced it is. It never feels like there's a dull or low spot or, a bad level. The pacing is fantastic. The story, the characters, everything with this game just makes you go, damn. But there is one thing that I would like to extrapolate on, and that is the pacing. Even if the game ends, it starts at a cutscene, it's hard to notice when it does go into a cutscene. Cutscenes run as either a pretty much futuristic version of Skype, and then there are the ones that don't really break scene. It's not one of those things in games where out of nowhere the graphics and the cutscenes are triple and it looks off. The game is solid in so many ways. If I could describe it in one word, for the cutscenes at least, it would be smooth.
God, Isaac. Glad to see you've got all your parts.
You alright?
Yeah.
There are 4 steps.
No thanks to Twitchy here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Step 4. She'll be waiting.
Jesus, Strauss. You okay?
It's getting worse.
Here we are, flying in with a great finale, 85 out of 100 for overall impact. Pros, very memorable sound effects, well-rounded, balanced game, never gets old. Cons, there wasn't really any huge cons for this game other than Strauss, dying off pretty quickly, but overall, Dead Space 2 is an amazing, solid game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, which is hard to do because I've played so many games, but here we are, the final score. What did it get out of 10? Well, the numbers boiled down to 9.1 out of 10. It's hard enough to get an 8 out of 10 for me because, I'm pretty tough on games I play. 9.1 out of 10 for Dead Space 2 is pretty damn good. So that's it. That's Dead Space 2. Dead Space 1 was based on horror, Dead Space 2 was based on terror, and 3 was based on nothing. Visceral Games said they wanted to do Resident Evil in space, and I think they succeeded pretty damn well. Anyways, big shout out to PB Gaming for letting me use his gameplay, as I had no way of recording off my PS3 for this time. And literally, he was kind enough to let me use his gameplay in my video. He's such a nice dude. His channel is awesome. Link will be in the description. Big shout out to you. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, do all that crazy stuff. Peace.
Are you ready to talk now?
Why? So I can let you go too? I can't do that, Nicole. I never wanted to let you go.
A lot happened that we never wanted. Isaac. Touch me.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Isaac, please. Make us whole.
I can't.
Thanks for sticking around till the end. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff if you want. Also, Patreon links in the description if you want to support the channel. 50% of the proceeds go directly to charities for the environment. Really good cause. Support my channel. I'll appreciate it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.